With us now, Nina Turner, national co-chair of Bernie Sanders' 2020 campaign, Steve Cortes, senior campaign advisor to President Trump's 2020 campaign. Nice to see both of you. Steve, first to you. Donald Trump is extremely popular. We just did a whole segment on that. But if Trump is so popular, why are these races so close?
Yeah, it's a great question. And the answer is that there's a difference between Trump-motivated voters and the traditional Republican Party. What I mean by that is that Donald Trump has brought in lots of new voters into the political process. For example, he won Hispanic men nationwide. He won 18-year-olds nationwide, which is pretty shocking, frankly, to a lot of people. However, those new voters overwhelmingly view themselves as Trump supporters, as America First supporters, not necessarily, at least yet, as Republicans. And so when Trump is not on the ballot, it's difficult to motivate them to come out for a Supreme Court race in Wisconsin or for special elections in Florida. Now, I do think the Republicans are going to win both of those elections in Florida, but there is a definite serious divergence here that you pointed to in places where he won easily, running away by 30%. That the congressional candidate might win by, say, 5%. And it's part of this tension within the Republican Party as it becomes a thoroughly populist party. A lot of those folks rally to Trump, but they don't necessarily consider themselves Republicans.
All right. So, Nina, to that point, that says especially the paycheck-to-paycheck voters, working-class voters are up for grabs, yet we don't see Democrats pivoting to that, right? We saw Tim Walz saying what we really need to do is double down on DEI and wokeness, all the things that alienated the voters that Steve just talked about.
Well, the Democrats definitely have to focus in on economics. It's always economics. And until the working class people, and I mean all, I hope you mean all too, Leland, when you're talking, I'm talking about working class people across the ideology, racial, ethnic spectrum, until they are.
I don't know why you had to say that you hope I mean all. I said working class. That the paycheck-to-paycheck voters went to Donald Trump regardless of race. That wasn't the defining. We've said this for a long time, that we're a post-race.
I know, but sometimes I just want to clarify. Sometimes when people say working class, they only mean white males, but we're talking about all working class people. You did say all. The Democratic Party, until working class people are really in the clear, and they're still not in the clear, the economy is still going to be the main animating force. And I do agree with Steve in that there's a difference between President Trump and the GOP, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens both in these special elections, what happens in the midterm, and actually what happens when President Donald J. Trump is not on the ballot. If we go back in time with President Obama, you know, we had that Obama appeal that did not, voters don't always transfer. And I can tell you that as somebody who served as an elected, you can't always get your voters to move over to somebody else, basically.
Yeah, no, look, it's a great point. You think about Barack Obama, incredible campaigner for himself, not for others. Same with Donald Trump. 2018 midterms, we saw what happened in the special elections in the Senate down in Georgia. 2021, the 2022 midterms, I could go on. But looking forward, and this is going to play a huge role because Elon Musk has taken over as almost a proxy at times for Donald Trump, as they are so closely linked. Here is Musk talking about how whether the Supreme Court choice in Wisconsin goes to a Republican or Democrat will decide how the congressional districts are drawn in Wisconsin. It's called gerrymandering. Here he is explaining it.
The Democrats are trying to redraw the districts in Wisconsin. We're trying to stop the Democrats from gerrymandering Wisconsin to remove 2 House seats. We could lose control of the House, and all of the government reforms could be shut down.
I'm going to get you both on the same question, but I will start, Nina, with you ladies first. That could play as a TV commercial for either Republicans or Democrats.
That's right, Leland. That is exactly right. That's what happens when somebody has the pen. What we should be most concerned about, and all voters should be concerned about this, is whether or not somebody of that wealth, dark money, 1 person, 10 people, should be able to pour that much money into a race to try to tilt the scale. So he's talking about somebody who has the pen. Well, he has the purse, and he is having an outsized impact on what the people of Wisconsin may or may not want. So we need dark money and big money donors out of politics. No matter if you make $2 or you make, almost a trillionaire, you should not be able to put your money on the scale and decide who wins in communities, especially communities you don't even live in.
Okay, but Nina,
All right,
know
so
very
Steve,
well
go ahead.
that you know very well that lots of big money is coming in, particularly from California, on behalf of the liberal candidate, Susan Crawford, in Wisconsin. So this is happening, obviously on both sides of the aisle. The point that Musk is making there, though, is very pertinent. And how do we know the Democrats are planning to steal the map drawing power away from the Wisconsin legislature? Well, because Hakeem Jeffries told us so. He said so on tape. He said, we are going to use the Wisconsin Supreme Court to overrule and abuse and remove the true constitutional power of the legislature there. We're going to redraw the maps to ones that we like. And the Democrats are openly campaigning that they believe they can pick up 2 seats through that nefarious operation.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.